Today we're back looking at our plants, and we're going to see which plants grew really well, which plants didn't grow so well. It happens. Sometimes seeds are old or they don't work, and we're going to try to transplant some seeds. So I'm going to get ready and I'll show you how we're going to do all of this. So first I'm going to show you the plants that grew really well. So here in the back, these, I believe, are our zucchinis. Our zucchinis are doing so well. Then we have cucumbers, which are also doing great. And we have our green onions here that are growing very nicely, and our lettuce. The rest of them didn't come up, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes seeds are not very good, sometimes seeds are old, and sometimes maybe I didn't water those ones perfectly, or I didn't plant them deep enough. Sometimes it's a person mistake, sometimes the seeds just don't work. And that's okay. That's the point of an experiment, is to try it out and see how it goes. So for some of our plants that are very big, like our zucchinis, we need to transplant them, which means, transplanting means to take a plant from where it's living and put it into another home, usually a bigger home. So I am going to take my plant out of here, and I'm going to transplant it, plant it again into a bigger pot. Because right now, the only room that this zucchini has for roots is right here. So that's it. These are wrong. Don't worry about those. But that's it. It only goes deep as to here. As deep as it goes. So it needs a bigger pot so that the roots can grow down all the way into the bottom and get way deeper. That way, you have a stronger plant, and you can make sure to put more water in the pot, and it has more soil for more nutrients and water. So to transplant a plant, there's some important things that need to happen. You need to make sure that you did not water your plant that day. Transplanting plants should be done with dry soil, dry dirt. If I transplant my plant and I just watered it, the soil is very sticky like mud, and it won't come out of the pot very easy, and I could damage it. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to pop one of these out. So I'm going to bring it over here. It's a little floppier because I took it out. See, now you can see all the individual little pots in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the zucchini, and all I'm going to do is press on the bottom. So I'm going to go pop, and then it comes. Oh, see the dirt coming out? It comes out dirt, roots, and all. You don't want to grab it by the stem. You want to grab it by the dirt around it. So I push it up and out, and I'm trying. Oh, it's kind of stuck. Oh, pull it out. Come on, zucchini, you can do it. Oh, perfect. And then, wow, we can even see the roots. So I've dropped a bit of soil, and that's okay. But do you see these white bits? I can't let go of it too much or it will drop. But those are all of the roots. And since they're on the edge of the soil, that means that this plant is too big for its pot. Its roots are already at the edge of its pot. It has nowhere else to grow. So I'm going to take, got stuck under here, a nice, much bigger pot. You don't fall. All right, a nice big pot. And in it, I filled it about halfway with soil. I'm going to stick it in there. You want to make sure that the plant still sticks up out of the pot, but it has a little bit more room underneath. So it's sitting on top of soil about this much, and then this much is about how tall it was. So I'm going to get some more, I have more dirt in this cup, and I'm just going to pour it all around to fill up the pot so that my plant doesn't fall down. Oop, it's tipping. Needs a little more dirt. If it's tipping on one side, put some dirt on that side, and it will hold it up. And it still tips over a little bit. That's okay because it just got scared. This plant can actually have stress, or it can get a little scared and unsure since it does not like you touching its roots. So the less you touch the roots, the better. So if you're transplanting a plant, it's best not to hold it for too long. So I'm going to do the rest of these, probably try to do them really quick so that they don't get very scared. And I'll show you once we're done. But remember, transplanting is moving a plant from a small pot to a bigger pot. And it has to be done with dry soil. Otherwise, it will stick inside the old pot and not come out very easily. And you might rip the roots. So now I have transplanted all the plants I'm going to transplant. I have transplanted my 1, 2, 3 zucchini plants. I've transplanted my 1, 2, 3 cucumber plants. And I think these are all the lettuces. So I think the lettuce grew. It's either lettuce or spinach. I can't remember what I planted there. But lettuce or spinach, they are also transplanted and growing. You can see that some of them kind of flopped over. So I'm not a gardener. My job's a teacher, you know that. So I'm not really the best gardener, but I'm trying my best and I'm experimenting. But sometimes some of them might not live, and that's okay. I also kept to watch the green onions, but I'm not transplanting them because I'm just going to put them in my garden soon. Green onions can be planted earlier because if it gets a little cold at night, it's still okay for them. They'll still live. So I'm not going to transplant my green onions. And the rest of the seeds didn't really seem to grow very well. So I've left them outside. We'll see if they grow. I'll bring them in at night. I'll put them out in the daytime, just like plants. We'll see if they grow. And if they don't, that's okay. So right now we have cucumber, zucchini, lettuce or spinach, I forgot, and green onions. So we'll see how they go, see if they grow. Now that I've transplanted the plants, I also need to remember that once they are in their new soil, I need to water them. So right after you transplant a plant, you do need to water them so that the roots can hold on a bit easier. If the soil is a bit wet or damp, the roots can hold in. If the soil is very dry and kind of more like crumbs, like crummy when you pick it up and it kind of all falls down, the roots can't hold on to it as easily. So they could get hurt more from transplanting if you forget to water them. So I put them outside, I watered them, and now they are transplanted and happy, hopefully. Your activity today is to go through my transplanting video. See them all here? Go through the video and answer some questions that I sent in an email to your parents. One of the questions is, what does transplanting mean? Another one is, do you transplant with dry soil or wet soil? So you have to go back into the video, maybe watch it again, and try to listen for those questions. Otherwise, we are just going to continue watching to see how they grow. And you did learn some new things in this video. You learned about transplanting and about how deep roots need to grow, that they need to grow deep down. So you need to look on your what I already know about plants, what I want to learn about plants, and what I learned about plants, and you've learned something new. So your what did I learn column should have one new thing in it at least. Something about transplanting plants. So there's 2 activities. 1, you have to answer the questions in the email. And number 2 is go back to your sheet for your I know, I want to know, and what I learned, and update it with what did you learn? I'm sure you learned something new. And if not, did you write about, I don't think anyone wrote about transplanting. So if you already knew about this, you have to add it to the I already knew column. If you didn't know it before, you put it in the I learned column. And if you think of more questions in the I want to learn column, write them to me. I still haven't collected quite enough to make a whole video about it, but maybe next week. So keep sending me your questions. All right, good luck. And I hope that if you were growing plants, I hope that yours didn't die like a few of mine did. I hope they're doing okay. Bye.